Hi guys, it's Siobhan Muir, and coming to you live from, um, well, from my office where you can see me doing the things I do. Anyway, good morning. Nice to see you. Welcome, welcome. Today I'm talking about generosity, and one of the things that's interesting about generosity is lots of the religions all over the world say this is something you should foster. And they're not wrong. They're not wrong, not at all. But it's also one of the things that many people seem to struggle with. When is the balance between being generous, help others, and do things for others, and being generous with your own well-being, where you take care of yourself as well? Because there's a difference between being generous and then being where you give everything to everyone else and you have nothing for yourself. That's not actually very healthy. So I was talking about generosity. Yesterday, a friend of mine, she is moving into a new house, but she needs some help to clean up the house. The house had been kind of abandoned for a while, and folks hadn't taken care of it, and so the yard was impressively overgrown. And and then beyond the yard, in the back, in the very back, there was a garage, and someone had left a car, just randomly left a car parked there. It was a Honda, had purple rims on its tires, a blue steering wheel, and a sunroof that didn't seal. So good morning, good morning, nice to see all y'all. Yeah, it's Mary. Good morning, Terry. Nice to see you. Excellent. So nice to have people join me in the morning. Do you have your tea? I know some of you just woke up again. I slept a lot too, Mary. I totally slept more than my usual. I needed it apparently. Like I said, I was over helping a friend yesterday clear her yard, and this yard was impressive. It had trees growing out of the planters that hadn't meant to necessarily be there, and then the grass had overgrown. It wasn't really grass; it was just weeds, and the yard looked like you hadn't seen. You have some soup on the stove. Ooh, Kato noodles. The weeds had just gone out. So we spent, the whole Muir family spent time, even the Muirlets helped, cleaning up, raking up the leaves and cleaning out the brush. And yeah, and it was fairly intensive for body work too. But it was worth it to me. She had needed help. We could easily do yard work. It's not like that took much effort or brain power. And we cleared out. Goats, your friends. Oh, I know. She totally needs goats. I was thinking the same thing. But it was really like dry brush. Not even the goats would want to eat it. I was wondering why I hadn't received any posts from you on Facebook yesterday, and finally I realized why. Oh yeah, Terry. Yeah. Um, that's another story, and you can see in my previous video from yesterday about not giving up. Yeah, Terry, I've been banned from Facebook for 30 days. So come November 18th, I can be back on Facebook, but more than likely I will be still very, very limited. Yeah, I didn't want you to think that I was ignoring all y'all. I'm not. Facebook has banned me for 30 days, so I'm not there. Just not there. My PA does post in my group, House of Muir, and on my fan page, which is, Siobhan Muir author, I believe. But other than that, nope, I don't talk about it. I hope you got my recent release though, Terry. So yeah, it's stupid Facebook. Yeah, it's all about keeping women in their place. We're not supposed to actually enjoy looking at anything. We're only there on their okay. Whatever. I'm no longer playing that game. In any case, yes, Deli is out. Missed that one since I was looking for you on Facebook, and that's when I realized what had happened. Yep, 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 yep. I didn't have time last night. I should have posted on Facebook and said, by the way, if you want to find her, she's doing something live on YouTube. But that's why I'm not on Facebook. You need to get Deli. Oh, you know what? I really enjoyed writing that one. That one was really a fun one, Nellie. It was so fun to write about Deli and kind of the way he had to learn how to interact with the person that he was interested in, and Yeah. So, but I'm talking about generosity. I will generously tell you about Delhi. Yeah. Totally. Anyway, one of the things that I was talking about generosity is the other thing that was interesting is Mr. SM and I will help friends when they ask for it. We're totally like, yeah, okay, we can help. And like I said, yard work is not exactly difficult. It doesn't take a lot of brain power, and you just kind of go out there and beat your body all to hell. but in any case, so we spent some time yesterday, and the muralists worked really hard, which of course apparently impressed the daylights out of my friend. She was like, I can't believe your kids just work really hard. I'm like, well, they got a pretty good work ethic. This morning I caught them raking up the leaves in our yard. I'm like, who are you? What have you done with my kids? But they really want to clean up the yard. And one of the things you have to do around here is you have to rake the leaves because they don't break down like other places. You know, if you leave the leaves, they turn into kind of this black slime, and it's not good for the grass, and it's not good for the yard. And so but they are proving their generosity as well by helping clean up the yard. I'm like kind of surprised by that. But what was interesting yesterday is that we were there to help clean up her yard, and she was expecting her son to come and help too. And he never showed. He never showed up while we were there. Oh, Mary says deli is delicious. Yay! I'm glad you like it. Oh, leave reviews. Please leave reviews. Leave them at BookBub and Goodreads and Amazon if you can. Leave the reviews, please, please. I'm glad you like it. I really liked Running Deli. He was pretty a special character. He still is, as far as I'm concerned, and he looks really cute. You know, because I have him sitting next to me. You know, in case you don't remember what he looks like, I totally have him sitting next to me. Because yeah, but he's a pretty special character, and he did definitely make my day. Just realized that I only have Darwin's story from your Beta Squad series. Now I now have all of them. Well, Darwin is he's actually Ultimate Recon, and he's the first one in Ultimate Recon, and the Delhi story brings Ultimate Recon back into focus a little bit, and I do have at least 2 more stories started for Ultimate Recon. So there are stories coming for Ultimate Recon. Don't worry, I promise they're there. I would say that is motivation to finish. Yes, I know, I know. Isn't that picture wonderful? Oh, you love the picture? Yeah, with him looking over his shades. Yes, he sent me when I was talking to the model about the images. I said, do you have any others? Because I would use them as promo. And he said, well, I have this one. And he showed me this one of him looking over his shades. And I'm like, oh, I need that. I need that one for promotion. Totally need that one. So, yeah, that one's one of my, both of those were the image of him where he's got his hand behind his neck. That image is what I saw for the cover. I knew that. I was like, no, that one has to go on the cover. But then the picture of him just looking out over his glasses. Yeah, that one was pretty nice. I would say that was motivation to finish the deli. Oh, yes, it was. Well, and then I needed to make sure that I was thinking about putting a woman on the cover, but then it got too busy, and I wanted to make sure that you had a sense of where they were, the trees in the background, and I wanted the dog on the front. So it was like there was a lot of things that I wanted to put on the front, and I didn't want it to get too busy. Well, now I have all to date of your Beta Squad series. Yes, you should. There should be 5 of them. There should be 5, Terry. The first one is Broncos Rough Ride. That's the prequel. And then there's the Navy's Ghost, Rimshot's Hard Target, which was in Kindle Worlds and now is out. Bam Bam's Inked Heart, and now Delhi. Those are the 5 that are in the Beta Squad series. Darwin's Evolution is the first in the Ultimate Recon, and there will be. So far, I have 2 started. One of them is called January's Viking, I think. We'll see. I think so. I think it's January's Viking. And the second one that are started is called The Samurai Sniper. It makes sense. I promise. It makes sense. But those are the ones that are coming for Ultimate Recon. I don't know when the muse is going to grab me and say, "Okay, we have to write them," but they're started. I have an idea of them. So yes, and Mary says, and Trace, good old Trace. Yeah, she's quite a sweetheart. One of my beta readers was telling me that I picked the wrong kind of dog for Trace, and I thought, you know what? I understand that the majority of military war dogs tend to be Belgian Malinois and German Shepherds and maybe even Dobermans. The but this dog happened to be a Australian cattle dog. And before everyone goes, that's not happening. I've heard of stories where they have gone to the pound or the shelters and tried to find dogs that their budget was such that they needed dogs that weren't necessarily the traditional dogs, but they needed smart ones that could really follow direction and understand. And one of the things I know about Australian cattle dogs is they're very, very smart. So she happened to be a shelter dog that they managed to use and train for as a military war dog when she started her career. And then you see her now. And she's very, very well trained and she's very, very attentive. And so that's why I picked that kind of dog. Yes, I'm aware that's not a traditional military war dog, but I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility. So there you go. There are Goldens. Oh, are they? Wow, Goldens and dogs with the right personality. I have Bam Bams, Delis, Rimshots, and Navy. Oh, so you need Bronco. Don't forget Bronco. I know that Amazon doesn't include it in the list of the series because it's a prequel. It takes place before the Navy's Ghost. The Navy's Ghost was the one that I wrote first, but Bronco was already married by then. And so I wanted to write Bronco's story. So technically it is still part of the series, but Amazon, for whatever reason, doesn't list it. They, I would have to number it as number one, and it really isn't number one. It's a prequel. It's point five, or it's beginning. It's the book that came before the Navy's Ghost. So if you don't have Bronco, and you listen to Amazon, Amazon's an idiot. They won't list it with the series, even though it's technically the book that didn't start off with a team. So you don't meet any of the other characters in the rest of the series in Bronco's book because Bronco was just joining Bravo Squad. So Bronco is part of the Bad Boys Beta Squad, but it's his story before everybody else had it. Well, that's why you don't have it. Yeah, I know. It's stupid, but it is part of the series. It's just before the Navy's Ghost. My favorite almost working dog was a police dog washout. The spouse found him at the Humane Society, and the dog failed training because it would find the drugs and then hide them. Oh no! Before the handler could find them. Oh no, Mary, that's terrible. Well, what a good dog. Let's play. Yeah, we're not here for the Easter egg hunt. Please leave the drugs where you find them. That's the game, right? Right, absolutely. Mary, that's awesome. Well, exactly. Well, Trace wasn't a washout. She just happens to be a shelter pet that, that they found a good dog that would work. So it's priceless. I agree. I totally agree, Terry. Oh, glory. So yes. So if you want the Bad Boys of Beta Squad, you can read them in order if you want to. But Bronco's story is the one before even Navy's Ghost came out. So, Magic and Retro and Ghost weren't in Bronco's story because he is older and he married his wife before then. And his wife was an undercover cop. And honestly, in Bronco's story, his wife rescues him. He's actually the victim. So it's a really interesting story. I loved writing that one too. I think Lindsay Jarvis was her name. I think Lindsay was my favorite heroine for a long time because she ended up rescuing Bronco, and she's pretty special. So, and you do see her in the Navy's Ghost. She's one of the Navy wives that gets captured. So there you go. Um, but Bronco is one of my favorite stories. And then you get Bronco, then you get Navy's Ghost, And Rimshot's Hard Target. Rimshot is also one that kind of overlaps with another series called Rifts, and you can find a story of, because what Rimshot's problem is he's looking for his sister. He can't find her, so he hires the heroine in his story to find her, and you get their tale. But his sister's missing, and so you find out his sister's tale in the first book of the Rift story called Take the Reins. So if you want to know where those overlap, that's the connection they have. Then after Rimshot comes Bam Bam, because Bam Bam was injured in Rimshot's story. So like I said, they all connect. You can read them individually, but you find out the whys behind them if you read them in order. And then of course you get Deli. In Deli, I was looking at it. It turns out I have basically published a Bad Boy of Beta Squad story every year since 2013. I just realized there's one in 2013, there was one in 2014, there was one in 2015, there was one in 2016 or 2016. Yeah, and then I didn't do one in 2017 because I was working on too many other things. So you get one in 2018. So pretty much one a year. So Bronco's Rough Ride is listed as Bad Boys Beta Squad .5. Great. That's the one. That's, like I said, it's a prequel. You don't meet any of the other characters until Navy's Ghost. But I found out about the military and company working dogs, civilian tractors, breeds utilized for CWDs and MWDs, German Shepherd, Belgian Malinois, Labrador, Springer Spaniel, occasionally a mixed breed, and other sporting herding breed dog. Yeah. Australian cattle dogs. Right now they're using coonhounds. I've seen the coonhounds at the airports. They use them for drug sniffing dogs. The coonhounds are excellent at that. Someone also, the same beta reader, said they don't use coonhounds. I'm like, I had one walk past me in the airport in Denver and in Orlando. So I know they use coonhounds. And they're beautiful dogs. I mean, these dogs are in fantastic condition. And so it's like, I do know. I paid attention. And I read up. Same thing that you did, Mary. The breeds utilized. I did. So it is possible. She said, oh, they only use bloodhounds. I'm like, no, I use coonhounds too. I've seen them. But anyway, so generosity. I'm talking about generosity. Well, I'm generously giving you this series. Well, okay, so the first one in the Ultimate Recon series is Darwin's Evolution. I don't know which one will be number 2 because both of them are kind of being written at the same time. So I don't know which one will come out first. But it could be the Samurai Sniper, who will be attached. I mean, you meet the sniper in Deli's Takeout. You totally meet him. Or it could be January's Viking, which you've met Viking in Darwin's Evolution. So I don't know which one will come out first. I do know that we have both stories started. So we'll see which one. One of the things I recommend when you all read my books, make sure you look for Easter eggs, because there are connections to other stories in all these stories. In fact, if you read Bronco, you'll have a connection to another one of my stories. Pay attention to where the story takes place, and you will find another story connected to it. My dog would have been a great working dog. He's got a strong prey drive and scent drive. He's also a spoiled, rotten pet. I know about those. Have you seen my cat? Anyway, so these stories are near and dear to my heart because the characters learn so much and they have to go through so much. And I went with them. Writing them is kind of like a journey for me too, and things that I learn and the research I've done and the people I talk to. Yeah, that's kind of a big thing for me, and learning about these things has really helped me as a person, because then I start figuring out what I need to do as me being a better human being. Some of the lessons they learn, I'm going, oh yeah, right, I should learn that too. Easter eggs are great, and I love seeing the connections. Just let me know who I should chant for next. Are you talking military? Because you could chant for the Samurai Sniper. You could, or if you're feeling A little less. Oh, Padfoot! Okay, okay. Padfoot, you'll meet in Delhi. And Padfoot is the nickname of a new seal. Oh, and Terry's like, Star Spangled Banner, Star Spangled Banner. That's right. Let's not forget the Cowboys. We cannot forget, because there's a Navy SEAL in there. There's another Easter egg. I'd forgotten about that one. There's another Easter egg in Delhi. There's another Easter egg. The Easter egg is that the FBI agent in Delhi. Yes, it's raining seals. That's totally it. The FBI agent in Delhi is connected to the seal that falls out of the sky in Star Spangled Banner. But you only heard it here first. So, Star Spangled Banner has a seal that falls out of the sky, quite literally, actually. And he is connected to, well, the FBI agent in Delhi. See, Easter eggs everywhere. There are Easter eggs. So that means I'll be connecting the seals. Oh, and there's another one too. I have a bunch of Cloudburst stories that are coming. And one of the Cloudburst stories, somebody dies in it. Because that's the way that's how I work. Somebody dies, and it's connected back to the Bad Boys Beta Squad. And Cloudburst, some of them folk ain't human. Just saying. Just saying. You understand that I'm a paranormal romance author first. I can write military. I can write cowboys. But sometimes them folk ain't completely human. Just keep that in mind. Generosity. I'm giving you little hints here. Yeah, I'd forgotten about Star Spangled Banner. Oh, yeah. Maybe I should work on that one. But I'm also working on Dude with a Cool Car. So, you've got some cocky bikers coming. Oh, did I show you? I don't know if I showed you. I didn't bring it with me. I'll have to show it to you later. I have I have the image for my Forever Cocky Biker Rebellion encounter. I have the cover image, the guy that's going to be on the front. You can thank Paul Henry Sayre for that image. Oh, baby. I took one look at that and I knew that was the character. Of course, he does that to me a lot. I take one look at these pictures and go, hello, that's totally, yeah. So I can't wait to read them all, but I have to read them in order. Yes, and you don't have to read them in order in terms of enjoying the story. But if you want to know all the little Easter eggs and all the little connections, it's best if you do read them in order. Absolutely. And I know there are some folks that it's like, no, I have to read the series in order. I understand that too. I really respect that. And that will give you a lot more of those connections when you see them, because you've read them in order. Yes, that's exactly it. But you don't have to read them. They are good standalone stories. But if you want to know what happened to their friends, you should read them in order. Yeah, that's why you like to read them. Yeah, exactly. And I know that because there was other stories that I've read of people who've written books, and I'm sitting there going, I didn't know there was one that came before this. And I read them out of order, and they were good. They were still good, but they weren't as good as they would have been if they'd been in order. So I get it. I totally get it. So yeah, so you do have that series in order. For Cloudburst, the first one I wrote was A Hellhound's Fire. That kind of introduces you to the town and the people that are in it. Then you get the Beltane Witch. And then there was another story I wrote. It was called Christmas Ice Magic. Originally, it didn't take place in Cloudburst. And it still doesn't. But it's connected to, they eventually moved to Cloudburst. So I included it in the Cloudburst series, even though technically it takes place in Washington State before. Cloudburst, of course, is Colorado. I saw lots of binge reading in my future. Yay, Terry! okay. So the Beltane Witch takes place. Now, the next story that was supposed to come after the Beltane Witch was the Cloudburst Coffee and Spa, but I didn't get it written in time. I had to really think about it. So I wrote Cloudburst Ice Magic and Christmas Ice Magic and Cloudburst Ice Magic. Those two are a set. They are the continuation of the same pair, same hero and heroine. You know, you kind of figure out. And there will probably be another Ice Magic story. Because I met another character that I'm like, oh, I kind of want to write his story. So there might be another Ice Magic story, but right now it goes A Hellhound's Fire, The Beltane Witch, Christmas Ice Magic, Cloudburst Ice Magic, and then the Cloudburst Coffee and Spa. Those are the 5 that are out in the Cloudburst series, and they're all in order. There's no pre-order or any of that prequel. And then the 6th one that I have to edit still is called Courting the Dragon Widow. It too doesn't actually take place in Cloudburst, but the heroine is from Cloudburst, and she goes back to it at the end of the story. So you will end up with the characters back in Cloudburst. Binge reading is fun, but that will wait until after November. I understand that too. Yeah, it's kind of like, well, that's okay. There's lots of stories coming, I promise, Mary. I promise. Okay, so the last thing that, let's see. So the next Cloudburst story will either be, well, it'll be Courting the Dragon Widow will be the next one out, but the next one after that is either Redeeming the Incubus, and trust me, there's a reason for that, or it will be a story about one of Moira Callahan's brothers, right? Because Cloudburst Coffee and Spa is Moira Callahan's story, and she was supposed to come out with the Beltane Witch, but it didn't happen. But they happen about the same time. So the story of the Beltane Witch and the story of Cloudburst Coffee and Spa are concurrent. They happen at the same time. So if you read either one of them first, it doesn't matter. They both happen at the same time, and you will see overlapping scenes. The brother who doesn't have his head up his, yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be Kieran, Mary. I think it's going to be Kieran. Because he doesn't have his head up his, but I also have I had a, while I was writing Cloudburst Coffee and Spa, I got a plot bunny for, Thomas. I think that's his name. I think it's Thomas. Her very youngest brother. The one who's into music. Like I needed another plot bunny. Trust me, these things come out of the woodwork. So, yeah, Thomas and Kieran will probably get their story before Callan. Oh, Callan. Oh, dear. Callan, poor Callan. And he's going to get raked over the coals. So don't worry, Mary. He'll get his comeuppance. And the best part, though, is that he's going to be an overlap story. But I'm not going to tell you with whom. Not yet. That one's later. A little later. Anyway. So, yeah, you are going to definitely get a lot more Cloudburst stories. Cloudburst is probably going to be one of my longest series. Just because I have all these characters that I can play with. The bad boys of Beta Squad have been, I see very little sleep in my future. Oh, that's really funny, Terry. With a cast of thousands in your head, I see you have to get those stories out so there's more room and they don't drive you crazy. Yet you have no idea. Plus, I have some goblins to write about. Oh, the goblins. You might have noticed the goblins in Death's Shadow. Yeah, I'd write their stories. Any case, so Cloudburst has plenty of stories. There's going to be some goblin stories. We got Ultimate Recon, and then but if I write more seals, I think I'm going to start a new series. Now they will be definitely directly connected to the Bad Boys of Beta Squad. You're not going to lose out on any Bad Boys of Beta Squad, but I think I'm going to call them something different. I think I'm going to give them a new name. Because they're older and they have silver in their hair. And I think I'm going to call them the Stainless Steel Seals. I think so. Everyone else does Silver Seals or Silver, whatever. I think these are going to be the Stainless Steel Seals. I think so. But, of course, I have to wait for I have one started, actually. I do have one started. Titanium. The Titanium. Well, I kind of like the alliteration, though. The Stainless Steel Seals. I kind of like it. But, yeah, these folks are a little older, and I actually have one started. You met him actually in the beginning of Deli's story, is Bones. I have his story started. I know what's going to happen to Bones. Um, as for Padfoot, I kind of have an idea of where I'm going with his, but I don't know yet. But I know at least he's there. So you guys are going to get so much of these stories, and I'm glad you guys enjoy them. Let me tell you, I'm so glad you guys enjoy them. They're really impressive that so many people enjoy reading them. They make me happy. I mean, I write them and I'm like, oh, these are fun. What about the Sisters of the Heroine in Death Shadow? I think that's yes, ma'am. I've already started one about her, one of her sisters. Matter of fact, I forgot to name one of them. I realized that she has 11 sisters, one of which is dead. So she has 10 living sisters, and I forgot to name one of them. I was like, way to go, Siobhan. So I started writing her story, the one that I didn't name, the nameless sister. I started writing her story. Yes, I will have probably another 11 books, or 10, another 10 books that are connected with her in Death's Shadow. Like I said, like I needed more. So yes, you are definitely going to get some more in Death's Shadow, some of the more of that world. Hey, at least you don't just randomly have them vanish. No, I don't. No, they won't randomly vanish. I promise. Um, Matter of fact, the unnamed sister looks completely different than her other sister. She's very tall and very slender, and she has a tail. But anyway, yeah, I just learned about her. So, generosity. I am generously giving you all these little tidbits of what's coming so that you're not going, are you working on anything, Siobhan? Yes, I am. I don't like it when they vanish. I don't either. And thank goodness they don't. They just kind of, actually, they don't ever vanish. All these characters in my head, they just kind of stand off to the side until I'm ready to focus on them. Um, but I've been writing. Oh gosh, have I mentioned the firefighters? Yeah. So there's two firefighter stories that I have coming. They will be the sequels to Wildfire's Heart. It's my only firefighter story out there that is, the Elemental Heart series. Yeah, that one started. I have two more coming. You were wondering about the firefighters. Yes, the firefighters are coming. So one of the firefighters is called Locked Hearts, LOCH''D, Locked Hearts. Yeah, I've been working on that one. Cowboys and firefighters, oh my, I know, but these aren't human firefighters. I just want to put that out there. Then the second one that I have going so far is called Heart of Sorrow. And that one I actually, in the last couple days, matter of fact, if you go to my blog and you skim through some of the things like Snippet Sunday and Monster Mash and even Thursday Threads, you will find little snippets of some of the firefighters because they were been talking loudly to me. Monster Mash, you look for promptly, you can search my blog at the very bottom of the blog page. There's a little search place, and you can search for Monster Mash. You can search for Promptly Penned. You can search for, what was the other one? Like song fiction and photo fiction. If you search for those things, you will come up with writing with stories that are coming. And you will find out about the firefighters. You will find out about some of the seals and stuff like that. Yeah. So if you ever want to know what I'm working on and some of the things that are coming, I give hints with those slash fiction pieces because that's what the music is like. Ooh, let's write about that. So keep that in mind. There is plenty of writing there for you to find stuff. And again, that's part of the generosity. I'm giving you little pieces, little tidbits. There is one right now on my blog is Snippet Sunday, and it's Deli, of course, because I'm trying to remind y'all of this new book that's coming out. This book that's out. It is in paper too, so if you're a paper person, there's a paper book available. You can get it right now. But the other things that are on there have been, like I said, they've been the firefighters, particularly Locked Hearts. That one seems to be getting written by Flash Fiction rather than I'll have to piece it together, but it seems to be written by them. I will be getting paper next payday. Yay! Excellent. Yeah, it's really funny. The model, he's so excited about the book coming out that he has been promoting it as well. So thank you for the model. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, to all models who are watching this, it really helps the author if you're excited about it. So I totally recommend that you promote it as well. That will make most more people recognize you. Just saying. Anyway, I do need to get off because I've been talking to you y'all for 35 minutes. So I think it's time to wish you all a great Sunday. I hope your days are full of joy. I hope you enjoy Halloween. We have decorated our front porch with a black light and some skeletal creatures. I think we have a hanging bat and a dragon. Here's the dragon. We haven't put it out yet. There's the dragon. Look at my dragon. My skeletal dragon. It even has an open jaw. See, look at that. Isn't that cool? I love it. And then we bought a little skeleton, like a little kid, sitting on our front porch swing, and he's got a leash to a dog skeleton. So, we got Bonaparte, that's the dog, and Leon. Leon is the kid, and then we have the bat. I haven't named the bat yet, but this is Torch. This is Torch. Yeah. So there you go. So, thank you for joining me today for the Sunday morning tea, which I forgot to drink. I do have my coffee, and it's the Bad Boys of Beta Squad image, right? And then, of course, their motto on the back, the Mo Beta Squad. Yep. Keep low, move fast, kill first, die last. One shot, one kill, no luck, pure skill. Anyway, I saw some flamingo skeletons. Oh, that's funny, Mary. And I will be live again next weekend for the Saturday evening soliloquy, somewhere between 5 and 6 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 4 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Mountain, 6 p.m. Central, and 7 p.m. Eastern. And then, of course, the Sunday morning tea, somewhere between 10 and 11 a.m. Mountain Time, which is 9 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Mountain, 11 a.m. Central, and 12 p.m. Eastern. And we can do this again. You can ask me questions. As if you haven't noticed, there are comments and the comments that happen. And I do answer them. So if you do come and catch me live, you can ask me questions and I do answer them right there on In Charge and online. So Facebook or YouTube? Oh, I will always be on YouTube from now on, Terry. Good question. I'm going to be using YouTube from now on because with Facebook banning me on a whim for a link, they banned me for a link. They didn't even ban me for an image. So at this point, I can't give them more of my time. So it will definitely be on YouTube. So my suggestion is there's a little bell over here. There we go. There's a little bell up there. Click that bell. That gives you notifications that that I'm live. It'll tell you when I'm live and what's going on. Also, make sure you subscribe to my channel. That'll help too. The more people that subscribe, the more people get to see it. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. And I will definitely talk to you next weekend. So have a great one. And happy Halloween! Talk to you later. Bye-bye.